Most people wait for the right time to start, but that perfect moment never comes. The truth is, small steps every day can lead to big changes. You don't need to do everything at once, just do something. Action builds habits, and habits shape your future. Take action every day, even if it's small. Keep going, stay focused, and you'll get closer to your goals, one simple step at a time. I, Napoleon Hill, have learned that taking action every day doesn't start with big plans or perfect moments. It starts when you decide to move, even if you're tired, unsure, or alone. When you choose to act without waiting for someone to tell you what to do, without needing praise, without knowing all the answers, real success comes from doing small things again and again, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. The power is not outside you, it's in the simple choice to keep going every single day. Start before you're ready. There's something many people wait for their whole lives, the perfect time. They wait for the right moment to begin a new habit, to chase a goal, to start a dream. They wait for when they feel more confident, when they have more experience, when they know exactly how everything will go. But the truth is, the perfect time never comes. There will always be something that makes you feel unsure. There will always be fear, doubts, or something else that seems more important in the moment. That's why if you want to grow, to become the person you were meant to be, you must start before you're ready. Most people think they need to feel prepared before they take action. But it doesn't work like that. You don't feel ready and then you act, and then you feel ready. Confidence doesn't come first. It's something you build by doing. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward with the fear. Every time you take a small step forward, even when you're nervous or unsure, you become a little braver, a little stronger. And that strength adds up. When you sit and wait for the perfect time, you lose time. You watch the days pass. Weeks turn into months. And before you know it, you're in the same place, only older. Nothing changes unless you decide to begin. Nothing grows without a seed being planted. That first step might be clumsy. You might make mistakes, but that's part of it. Every expert was once a beginner. Every strong person started out weak. Every success story started with someone saying, "I don't know how, but I'll try." The reason this matters is because momentum matters. Once you begin, things start to shift. You learn by doing. You improve as you go. You build trust with yourself. You show yourself that you can keep going, even when things are hard. That trust is worth more than any plan, any talent, or any tool. It's what keeps you going on the days when motivation runs out. When you prove to yourself that you can start, even when you're not ready, you start to believe that you can do anything. You don't need a grand plan to start. You don't need everything figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to take a single small action, that's all. Instead of saying, "I'll wait until next week," say, "I'll begin today." Instead of thinking you need to know everything, ask yourself, what can I do right now with what I have? Maybe it's writing one sentence. Maybe it's walking for 5 minutes. Maybe it's talking to one person about your idea. That first step creates energy, and energy creates change. Imagine this. Two people have the same dream. One says, "I'll wait until I have more time, more knowledge, more support." The other says, "I'll begin with what I know today." A year later, one is still thinking about starting. The other has already made progress, learned lessons, and built a new life. It wasn't because they were smarter or better. It was because they started before they felt ready. The secret is this: no one ever truly feels ready, not at the start. That's why it's so important to begin anyway, even if it's messy, even if you're afraid, even if your hands shake and your voice trembles. That's how growth begins. That's how dreams turn into reality, not by waiting, but by beginning. Start before you're ready, and you'll find that you were more ready than you ever knew. Break it down small sometimes. The dream feels too big. You look at everything you want to do, and it seems like too much. It feels heavy. You might say to yourself, "Where do I even begin?" And because the goal looks so big, so far away, you stop before you even start. But here's the truth. The way to reach any big goal is not by doing everything at once. It's by breaking it down into small steps. Think of a big mountain. From the ground, it looks impossible to climb. But if you just focus on the first few steps, and then the next few, and then the next, you'll find yourself slowly making progress. Step by step, little by little, you move higher. You don't need to jump to the top. You just need to take the next small step. When you break things down, they feel more doable. You take away the fear. You take away the pressure. It becomes easier to act. It becomes easier to say, I can do that, because instead of trying to finish the whole journey in one day, you're just focusing on what you can do today. And when you finish a small step, you feel good. You feel proud. You feel like you've done something that matters. That feeling pushes you to do more. It builds energy. It builds belief. One small action leads to another, and soon you're further along than you ever thought you'd be. This is important because it's not the size of the action that changes your life. It's the consistency of the action. Doing something small every day is more powerful than doing something big once in a while. A little each day adds up. Drops become a stream becomes a river carves out canyons over time. So how do you break something down? Look at your goal and ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today to move closer? If your goal is to get healthier, maybe you start by drinking more water. If your goal is to write a book, maybe you write one paragraph. If your goal is to learn something new, maybe you spend 10 minutes studying. These are not big things, but they are real things, and they move you forward. Imagine someone who wants to build a small house with their own hands. If they stare at the whole project, they'll feel lost. But what if they start by placing one brick? Then another? They may not see the house right away, but brick by brick, it starts to take shape. And one day they look back and realize they've built something amazing, not in one big moment, but through many small ones. When you make things small, you make them possible. You make them real. You take control. You stop waiting for a perfect time or a big chance. You just begin, and that's all it takes. So the next time you feel stuck, remember this. You don't have to do it all. You just have to do something small, something simple. And if you keep doing that every day, there is no goal too big, no dream too far. Every great thing you've ever seen, every strong person, every great story began with one small action. Don't let the size of your dream scare you. Break it down, make it small, and then take that first step. Because once you do, you'll find that the path isn't as hard as it looked, and you are stronger than you thought. Build your inner belief there is a quiet voice inside you. Sometimes it lifts you up and tells you, you can do this. Other times it holds you back and whispers, you're not good enough. That voice shapes how you see yourself and what you believe you can do. If you believe you're not strong enough, not smart enough, not ready, you'll act that way. But if you believe you can learn, grow, and overcome, you'll move forward with courage. The most important belief in life is the one you hold about yourself. Many people wait for someone else to believe in them. They wait for a teacher, a friend, or someone they admire to tell them, you have what it takes. But the truth is, you don't need anyone else to believe in you. You just need you. When you start to believe in yourself, even just a little, everything starts to change. You take more chances. You bounce back quicker from mistakes. You start to build the life you truly want. This matters because belief is the foundation of action. If you don't believe you can do something, you won't even try. Or if you do try, you'll give up quickly the first time something goes wrong. But when you believe in yourself, you keep going even when it's hard. You keep going even when others doubt you. That belief gives you strength. It gives you energy. It gives you the ability to move forward step by step. So how do you build belief? Start small. Keep your promises to yourself. If you say you're going to walk each morning, then walk. If you say you'll be kind today, then be kind. Each time you follow through, even on something small, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted, and that builds belief. You don't have to do something big to believe in yourself. You just have to take small steps and follow through. One step at a time, your confidence grows. Imagine a young boy who's always been told he isn't very smart. He believes it. So he never raises his hand, never tries anything new, and always doubts himself. But one day, a teacher asks him to try something simple. He tries, and he gets it right. That small win gives him a spark. He starts trying more. Little by little, he sees that he's not what people told him he was. He's more. And that new belief changes his whole life. We all have moments of doubt. That's normal. But you don't have to live in those doubts. You can choose to grow past them. You can choose to tell yourself a better story. Instead of saying, I can't do this, you can say, I'm learning how. Instead of, I've failed before, you can say, I'm getting stronger with every step. Your words shape your thoughts, and your thoughts shape your actions. Belief doesn't come from someone handing it to you. It comes from showing up, doing the work, and seeing what you're capable of. It comes from reminding yourself daily that you are not your past, not your mistakes, and not your fear. You are your actions. You are your effort. You are your courage. So today, build your belief. Start small. Do what you said you'd do. Celebrate every step. Remind yourself that you are capable of more than you think. The world may doubt you, but if you believe in yourself, truly believe, there is no limit to what you can do. Create a daily rhythm every day. You wake up with a choice. You can either let the day carry you wherever it wants, or you can take control and move with purpose. When you have a daily rhythm, you don't leave your life to chance. You shape it step by step with steady hands and a focused mind. A rhythm is not about being perfect or doing 100 things. It's about doing the right few things again and again until they become part of who you are. People often believe success comes from big moments, a lucky break, a sudden chance, a big win. But the truth is, success grows from what you do each day when no one is watching. It grows from the habits you repeat. Your daily rhythm is like the roots of a tree. You don't see them, but they're the reason the tree stands tall. If you water those roots every day, your life becomes stronger, steadier, and full of growth. A good rhythm gives you direction. It helps you focus on what matters most, so your time and energy don't get wasted. It also helps you stay calm. When life gets hard, and it will, your rhythm becomes something you can lean on. You don't have to ask, "What should I do?" You already know, because your rhythm is already in place. It carries you forward even when motivation is low or when the path feels unclear. So how do you build a rhythm? Start with the basics. Do something each day for your body, like walking or stretching. Do something for your mind, like reading or quiet thinking. And do something for your goals, like taking a small step toward a dream that matters to you. These don't have to be big things. What matters is that you do them every day. Day by day, they become part of your life. And once they do, they start to change you. Picture a man who decides he wants to become stronger, not just in his body, but in his life. Instead of making a long list of things to do, he chooses just 3. Every morning he wakes up and moves his body for a few minutes. Then he reads a few pages from a good book. And after that, he spends some time working on his goal, even if it's only for 15 minutes. He does this every single day, not once a week, not only when he feels like it, every day. Over time, he becomes stronger, wiser, and more focused. Not because of some huge change, but because of a quiet rhythm that he built and followed. You don't need to change everything all at once. In fact, that's where many people go wrong. They try to do too much too fast and then give up. But when you build a rhythm, something steady, something simple, you create lasting change. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is that you start. And once you begin, stay with it. Protect your rhythm like it's something sacred, because it is. A strong daily rhythm is one of the most powerful tools you can have. It gives your life structure, it builds your strength, it shapes your future, and best of all, it reminds you every day that your life is in your hands. Not in luck, not in chance, but in the simple, steady choices you make again and again. Let your days have rhythm. Let them have purpose. And you'll find that over time, those simple rhythms create an extraordinary life. Embrace the discomfort. Most people want a better life. They want to grow, to achieve, to feel proud of who they are. But the truth is, growth never comes without some discomfort. It never comes from staying in the same place, doing the same easy things, and avoiding what feels hard. If you want to become stronger, wiser, and more confident, you must be willing to step into the places that make you uncomfortable. Discomfort isn't something to fear. It's a sign that you're stretching beyond your limits. It means you're doing something new, something different, and that's a good thing. Think of it like this. When a muscle grows, it has to be worked. It has to feel some strain, some pressure. In the same way, your courage, your strength, your mind, they all grow through challenge. No one gets stronger by standing still. You grow by stepping forward, even when your legs shake. This is important because many people give up when things get hard. They start something, then stop the moment it feels heavy. But those who win, those who build a life they're proud of, are not the ones who avoid discomfort. They're the ones who walk through it. They understand that pain is not a punishment. It's part of the process. It's a teacher, not an enemy. So how do you embrace discomfort? You stop running from it. You stop thinking that something is wrong just because it feels hard. Instead, you start to see it as a sign that you're on the right path. You accept it. You breathe through it. You remind yourself that this moment, this hard, stretching moment, is exactly where growth begins. You take small steps, even when they don't feel easy. And with each step, you get better. Imagine a young girl who's afraid of speaking in front of others. Her voice shakes, her hands tremble. For years she avoids it. Then one day, she decides to face the fear. She stands up in front of a small group and speaks for just 1 minute. It feels uncomfortable, even scary, but she does it. Then she does it again and again. 1 year later, she speaks with calm and confidence in front of a large crowd. Not because the fear disappeared, but because she chose to face it again and again until it lost its power over her. Every person who has achieved something great has walked through discomfort. A writer who faced rejection after rejection, an athlete who trained through pain, a farmer who rose before the sun through wind and rain. They didn't get there because it was easy. They got there because they were willing to do what was not easy. That's the difference. Discomfort is not there to stop you. It's there to shape you, to make you sharper, to show you what you're really made of. If you can learn to sit with it, to breathe through it, to move forward anyway, then nothing can truly stop you. You'll become the kind of person who doesn't quit when things get hard. You'll become the kind of person who grows no matter what. So the next time you feel uncomfortable, don't pull back. Lean in. Welcome it. Let it teach you, stretch you, and shape you. The path to a better life is not the easy path, it's the brave one. And it begins the moment you stop avoiding the hard and start choosing to grow. Embrace the discomfort because that's where your power lives. Set real goals. Imagine going on a long journey with no map, no path, and no clear idea of where you're heading. You might walk for days, even months, and still feel lost. That's what life feels like without clear goals. You're moving, but you're not going anywhere that matters. You wake up, go through the motions, and before long, the weeks slip by with no real progress. That's why it's so important to set real goals, goals that give you direction, purpose, and something to work toward every day. A real goal is not just a wish or a dream. It's something you decide on with your whole heart. It's clear, it has a reason, and it pushes you to grow. Saying, "I want to be better" is not enough. Better at what? Why? How will you know when you've reached it? Real goals are not floating ideas. They are solid steps on a path that leads to something meaningful. When you set a real goal, you give yourself a reason to wake up with energy. You give your time more value. You stop wasting your days on things that don't matter, because now you have something worth chasing. A goal pulls you forward. It helps you focus, and it gives you something to hold on to when life gets hard. To set a real goal, start by being honest with yourself. What do you really want? Not what others want for you, what you want. Is it to get stronger, to learn a skill, to help your family? Whatever it is, let it come from your heart. Then make it clear. Not just, "I want to get stronger," but "I want to be able to run 5 miles without stopping." Not just, "I want to save money," but "I want to save a set amount each month so I can buy something important." Once your goal is clear, break it down. What small steps can you take today? What can you do tomorrow? Each action might seem small, but together they build something powerful. The more steps you take, the more progress you see. The more progress you see, the more your belief grows. Imagine a young man who says he wants to learn to play the guitar. At first, he only dreams about it. He watches others and feels inspired but never starts. Then one day, he sets a real goal. "I want to learn 1 new song each month." He picks up a guitar and starts with just 10 minutes a day. It's hard at first, but he keeps going. After 3 months, he knows 3 songs. After 6 months, he's playing in front of friends. All of it began with one clear goal. When your goal is real, you don't need to be pushed. You feel pulled. You feel driven. You want to show up and do the work. And when things get difficult, and they will, your goal reminds you why you started. It becomes your guide, your anchor. Without goals, life can feel like walking in circles. With goals, you walk with purpose. You don't have to know the full path. You just have to know the next step. Set a real goal, make it clear, and take one small action toward it every day. In time, you'll look back and see how far you've come, not by accident, but by choice. Your life becomes what you aim for, so aim for something true. Set real goals and let them lead you to the life you're meant to build. Develop grit and resilience. There will be days when things don't go your way, days when you feel tired, defeated, or unsure. You might try something and fail. You might work hard and still come up short. Life can be tough, that's the truth. But the people who grow, who succeed, who become strong, they are not the ones who have it easy. They are the ones who don't give up when it's hard. They are the ones who keep going even when it hurts. That is grit. That is resilience. Grit means staying the course. It means holding on to your dream even when the road is long and full of obstacles. Resilience means getting back up after life knocks you down. Everyone falls at some point. Everyone struggles, but not everyone rises. The ones who rise again and again are the ones who build something great with their lives. This matters because nothing worth having comes without effort. Whether it's becoming stronger, building a skill, or reaching a dream, there will be challenges. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work. There will be times when progress feels slow. But if you stay with it, if you keep showing up, something powerful happens, you grow. Not just in what you do, but in who you are. To build grit, start by doing hard things, not all at once. Start small. Face the things that scare you. Stay with things even when they get boring or tough. Each time you do something difficult without quitting, you become stronger inside. You prove to yourself that you don't break easily, and that strength becomes part of you. Resilience is built in the moments when you fall. The failure itself isn't the problem. It's what you do after the failure that shapes you. Some people fall once and stop trying. Others fall 10 times and keep going. Not because they don't feel the pain, but because they know it's part of the process. Every time you rise after falling, you send yourself a message, I can handle this. That message becomes belief. That belief becomes strength. Imagine a girl who wants to join a running race. She trains every day, but on the day of the race, she comes in last. She feels embarrassed. She wants to quit. But instead of giving up, she says, I will try again. She keeps training. She studies what went wrong. She grows faster, stronger, more focused. The next race, she finishes in the middle. The one after that, she wins, not because of talent, but because of grit and resilience. She didn't stop. She didn't give up. Life will test you. That's part of the journey. But inside you, there's a deeper strength, something that wakes up when times get hard. You may not feel it every day, but it's there. And the more you challenge yourself, the more that strength grows. You don't need to be fearless. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. When others quit, you stay. When others doubt, you trust. When life pushes you down, you rise again. That is grit. That is resilience. And once you learn to keep going when it's hard, there is very little that can stop you. You become the kind of person who finishes what you start, the kind of person who rises no matter what. So, whatever you're facing, face it fully. Don't run. Don't quit. Stay with it. That's how grit is built. That's how resilience is born. And that's how you change your life. Stay adaptable, and open life does not always go as planned. You might think you know what tomorrow will look like, but then something unexpected happens. A door closes. A path changes. Something you were counting on doesn't work out. In moments like that, you have two choices. You can fight the change, become angry, and refuse to move. Or you can stay open, adjust your steps, and find a new way forward. That ability to bend without breaking is called adaptability, and it can change everything. Being adaptable means you don't fall apart when things shift. It means you don't hold on too tightly to how you thought things should go. Instead, you open your mind. You look at what's happening and you ask, what can I do now? You stay flexible. You stay calm. And you keep moving forward even if it's in a new direction. This matters because change is part of life. Nothing stays the same forever. The people who do well in life are not always the strongest or the fastest. They are the ones who learn how to adjust. They know that a change in plan is not the end of the road. It's just the beginning of a new one. And often that new road leads to something even better than what they expected. So how do you become more adaptable? Start by letting go of the idea that everything has to be perfect. Let go of the need to control every detail. When things don't go your way, pause, take a breath, then ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What can I learn from this? And most important, what's the next best step I can take from here? When you shift your thinking from, why is this happening to me, to, how can I grow from this? Everything changes. Think of a farmer. He spends months preparing the land. He plants the seeds. He waits for the rain. But then a storm comes and washes away part of the field. He could give up. He could complain and do nothing. Or he could plant again, in a new spot, at a new time. He works with what he has, not what he wishes he had. That is adaptability. That is strength. Sometimes the change you face will be small. Other times it might shake your whole life. You may lose a job, miss an opportunity, or see a plan fall apart. Those moments can feel painful, but they can also lead to growth if you stay open. If you tell yourself, this is not the end, this is a new beginning, you allow yourself to rise, not fall. There is a quiet power in being open to new ways. When one plan fails, another can rise. When one door closes, a window may open, but only if you are willing to look around and notice it. Being adaptable doesn't mean giving up your goals. It means finding new ways to reach them. It means trusting that the path may twist and turn, but you can still move forward. So stay open. Be willing to learn. Let go of the need for everything to go exactly as planned. Life is full of change, some gentle, some strong. You can't stop the winds from blowing, but you can learn how to sail. And when you do, you'll discover strength you didn't know you had and paths you never thought to take. Adaptability is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is courage. It is knowing that no matter what happens, you will find your way. Keep your heart open, stay flexible, and trust that every change holds something valuable if you're willing to see it. Fuel it with passion. There is something deep inside you that lights up when you talk about certain things, when you do something you truly care about, or when you think about a dream that matters to you. That spark you feel, that energy that comes from the heart, is called passion. Passion gives your life color. It gives your work meaning. It gives your actions purpose. When you live with passion, you don't just go through the motions. You live with fire in your spirit and joy in your steps. Passion is what makes hard work feel worth it. It doesn't mean everything is easy. It means even when it's hard, you still want to show up. You still want to give your best. Passion turns effort into something beautiful. When you care deeply about something, you stop counting the hours and you start focusing on the progress. You do it not because you have to, but because you want to. This is important because life without passion can feel heavy. Days blend together. You do what you must, but your heart feels far away. You may succeed on the outside, but inside you feel tired and empty. Passion brings you back to yourself. It reminds you what truly matters. It reminds you that life is not just about surviving, it's about living. So how do you find or grow your passion? First, pay attention to what brings you alive. What do you love to talk about? What do you lose track of time doing? What would you gladly do, even if no one asked you? Start there. Then give it your time. Feed it, even if it's just a few minutes a day. And if you're not sure what your passion is yet, that's okay. Start trying new things. Stay curious. The more you explore, the more you'll discover. Picture a man who has worked the same job for years. He does it well, but his heart isn't in it. Each day feels the same. Then, one weekend, he builds a small wooden chair in his backyard. He enjoys every part of it, the sound of the tools, the smell of the wood, the joy of creating something with his hands. He doesn't think much of it at first, but he builds another and another. Soon he begins to sell them. What started as a quiet spark becomes a growing flame. And one day that flame lights the way to a brand new life, not built from pressure, but from passion. Passion doesn't always shout. Sometimes it begins as a whisper, a gentle nudge in your heart, a feeling that says, "This feels right." Don't ignore that voice. Follow it. It may lead you to new places. It may push you out of your comfort zone, but it will also give you strength. Because when you work from the heart, you have more energy, more focus, and more joy. You don't have to quit everything and start over. You just have to start honoring the things that make you feel alive. Maybe it's helping others. Maybe it's building, teaching, growing, creating. Whatever it is, give it your time. Give it your love. Let it become part of your everyday life. When you fuel your life with passion, you stop living small. You stop waiting for someday, and you start living now. You begin to walk with purpose. You begin to wake up excited, and even when the road gets rough, your passion becomes the fire that keeps you warm and moving forward. Passion isn't just something you feel, it's something you follow. And when you do, life becomes not just something you survive, but something you love.